Good morning, YouTube. Got some laundry done, so yeah. I got my bed sheets washed, a bed made, got some dishes done, got the stove wiped off, got this window open right now to get some of that tobacco smell out. Some people aren't a fan of it. And probably should look a little better. It's just part of the process of keeping your pad clean. So, or flat if you want to call it, But empty my ashtrays too, and another half is worth saving except for this cigar right here. It's been there for a couple of days and I don't give a shit. It's a cigar, so yeah. Normally just a little white line. You know what? In fact, I think. Look at that! It was on the first go. Nice. And it went out again. Son of a bitch. Really? There we go. Got that bastard lit. That's a tasty cigar. Air bells. That sounds like a Carillon system. Ding ding doo 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 doo. Well, anyway, today's video is going to be a response video to another Young Turks video. These guys are actually really good at what they do on YouTube. Actually debate both sides legitimately. They don't sit there and go, and they at least try to have some humor to it. So even if the topics are, taboo or serious, at least, trying to lighten the mood with humor, and, it kind of makes you go, oh, yeah, So, anyway, video response to the Young Turks, surprising clients busted for prostitution. What are your takes on prostitution, Mr. Saunders? Well, I think it should be legal, but I don't think pimps should have the control, because there have been too many reports of domestic violence and shit like that, and that ain't cool, I think if you choose prostitution, that's your choice. You as a woman have that right. Well, man, no, I don't give a shit. But the thing of it is, it's your life, But if you have sex with a prostitute and don't wear a condom and get a disease, it's your own goddamn fault. So, common sense. But you're thinking, oh, I just want sex, no strings attached, but I don't want to get a disease. Okay, so you get a sex doll or a pocket pussy if you have to. That's a lot better than cheating on your significant other or going out with a prostitute. And a lot cheaper too. Oh, anyway, if it doesn't work, if you got a hand, you can make it happen. Practice safe sex. Use your hand, because it's free and easy. Oh, that's good shit. Now, I remember in school we had this assignment, and we had the what would you do scenario questions, and I was a parent, and it said, as a parent, what would you do if your kid, asked about safe sex, or sex, whatever. And I'm reading the question out loud with my partner next to me in class, and I answered just like that, and everyone heard me. Everyone started laughing. I'm like, oh, this is great. They're like, oh, Josh, that was wrong. I'm like, yeah, I know. Anyway. Let's just watch the video. It's 1 minute and 47 seconds long.
There have been 92 arrests in the case of a Florida prostitution ring. And you get these little details and these little tidbits of information about the arrests. And it's kind of amazing when you consider the number of people and the type of people that look for prostitutes. So as I mentioned over and over again, I'm in favor of legalizing prostitution. No judgment to anyone who does go to prostitutes. But you wouldn't necessarily think of a youth minister as someone who'd go to a prostitute.
It's
or
not
maybe
the
you
same.
would. But 45-year-old Samuel Yoon is one person who got arrested. He's a youth minister at the Holy Cows.
Holy. Yeah, he's been messing with some holies. Oh.
Youth ministry at the New Community Mission Church in San Leandro.
Okay. That's great. A youth minister gets busted for prostitution. What's his excuse? Oh, God can forgive me if I beg for forgiveness and repent for my sins, you know. I'm like, what sin? You wanted sex. It's a natural human need. Okay, fuck the Bible. Seriously, I'm not trying to be an anti-Christian here. I'm just saying, if you look at the Bible, there's a lot of sexual shit in there. And then they turn around trying to say, oh, don't have sex before you're married. No. It's a sin. It's not a sin. So, if I ever visited the Vatican, particularly in front of the Pope, there was a shirt I would love to wear because it'd be funnier than shit. Yes, it's the infamous Jesus is a cunt t-shirt, depicting a naked nun on the front, band logo on the top, visceral masturbation on the bottom. On the back it says Jesus is a cunt. And people are too focused on the word cunt, so they get offended, you know. That's offensive! It's like, look at the front, look at the back. It's tongue-in-cheek. That's all it is. If feeling a t-shirt upsets you that much, then you need to rethink your life. Now, some people might be like, oh, you must be a Satanist and look at him talking shit about Jesus. I'm like, no, I'm saying she loves Jesus. She, you know what I'm saying? She pleasures herself with the teaching of Jesus. She's probably like, oh, yeah, rise from the grave again, you dirty Jew. What? Just kidding. Now, here's the thing. Jesus was not Christian. He was Jewish. The Christians crucified him. Now, people have to say that the Jews did it, but, no. That's not what I heard. Of course, you hear a lot of shit about Jesus, and you think, is it real or is it fake? It doesn't really fucking matter. What matters is that what he taught people. And, personally, I think he had a lot of nice things to say and teach people. But people get too caught up in being right and being wrong and whose side did this, whose side did that, you know, and stupid shit like that. Next thing you know, you got people going, the Bible has told me to kill a bunch of people, shit like that. And next thing you know, they're actually doing it and blaming the Bible for it. And then that's just an excuse for people to go, well, I told you religion's bad, you shouldn't. It's like, that's a cough-up. And what they're doing is distracting the media and the massive dumbasses that are in our country from the real issue at hand. This guy's a fucking lunatic. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's fair for them to use religion or guns as an excuse for their crimes, because really just saying that you're not guilty of it when in fact you're the one that committed the crime. Just saying.
And another person was a 21-year-old by the name of Michael Kemper, and apparently he was on his honeymoon when he left his hotel, allegedly to meet with a prostitute he met online.
Okay, you're on your honeymoon. Chances are you're going to have sex with your newlywed wife. Why the fuck are you going to see a prostitute? That's a question where I was like, I'm not in the mood. You're used to hearing that a lot. Now, why is that? Now, don't get frustrated because you don't need sex to have a happy marriage, but it does, you know, relax the tension a bit. So, the thing of it is communication, okay? And some guys, unfortunately, think that, oh, she's not putting on, to look for it somewhere else. You know, that's not the answer. It's not. Call me a hypocrite because, yes, I have cheated on Stephanie before, and I felt so guilty about it. I was like, wow, I can't believe. And she did. Why? One, I was drunk. Two, the confidence Stephanie gave me, because I spent my entire life thinking I'd never get a girlfriend because of my autism, because of, you know, the social awkwardness and all that. And out of nowhere, Stephanie pops into my life. I'm like, oh, it's kind of cool. And then I missed her terribly. Started thinking about her. I'm like, oh, this is depressing. I miss Stephanie. So I started drinking. Conveniently enough, I was drinking at a party, and there was a chick there, and I'm like, hey, you want a cigarette? She goes, yeah, okay, can I fuck you? Sure. Fucked her, gave her a cigarette, and be done with it. So, yes, I know it sounds bad. It is bad. And I felt so bad about it. I'm like, okay, So I told Stephanie, I let her know, and I said, look, if you want to break up with me, I understand. If not, that's cool. She didn't break up with me. I thought, huh. And then, to top it all off, I broke up with her for a couple of weeks and got back together. I don't know why she's still with me. I honestly don't. And, you know, I've been kind of lousy, and I wish I hadn't. Now, I can make my excuses and say things like, oh, well, I miss Stephanie, and I figured if I can get a girlfriend at John Quack, I go in here and cast her. That's not happening. So I realized that I'm not as confident with women as I'd like to be, or that I am. You know, I'm just a nobody, really. So, and Stephanie X asked me for that, and I think it's pretty awesome. Anyway, let's finish the video.
Said he met an undercover officer. His wife reported him missing when he didn't return, only to find that he was in jail on a prostitution charge.
It's like, honey, I know we're married, but could you come bail me out of jail? It's like, what are you in jail for? I went and saw a prostitute. We're on our honeymoon, you dick. I can't believe you. I so want a divorce. It's like, well, it lasted about a day. It's gotta be the shortest marriage. I'm sure there's a Guinness Book of World Records for world's shortest marriage. Yeah. It's like the minute you say, you may kiss the bride, you kiss them. Okay, I want a divorce, bye, walk out. They'd be like, what? All the money on the wedding, seriously? You got pranked. But the months we spent at the coffee shop and the dating, what's wrong with you? You got punked. Well, marriage is a commitment, believe me. Okay, I wouldn't know personally because I'm not married, thankfully. I'm not planning on getting married or having kids. Fuck that. One of me is enough. Can you imagine a world with 3 of me? Oh, God. To be like world leader meetings. What are we going to do? What's up? That King Cobra guy on YouTube, what about him? He reproduced. No! It's the end of the world! And, you know, my parents were like, oh, you make a great dad. No, I wouldn't. Okay? I would not make a great father. Believe me. I hate kids. I tolerate them, but lately they just annoy the fuck out of me for whatever reason. Like, oh, it's cute. They're just being kids, you know. And I feel so sorry for them because maybe they get to be my age, they're going to realize that, oh, being a kid was practically the greatest thing of your life, but now you're a miserable, pissed off adult like the rest of us. Oh, it's so fun. Sarcasm. But joking aside, being an adult's actually kind of fun, you know, taking the responsibility to pay your own bills and keep your apartment clean, you know, little shit like that. And you look back and go, oh, apartment smells and looks a lot better. Cool. So, yeah. And sometimes you need the small things in life to make it great. I think about the little things that make life great. I wouldn't change a thing about it. Anyway.
You're supposed to have sex on your honeymoon, right?
That's
I was
true.
just saying that.
Marriage, isn't it? Isn't it?
And I hadn't seen this video. I just kind of saw the beginning of it, and I'm thinking, I'll do a video response for it. Cool.
It really.
That was his honeymoon.
His honeymoon. If you're not having sex on your honeymoon, was he not having enough sex? Unless his wife had an allergic reaction, like I'm thinking there's the Heartbreak Kid with Ben Stiller. He meets some other girl on his honeymoon. Unless it was a situation like that, you have to be having sex with your wife on your honeymoon.
Not necessarily. You just enjoy each other's company. This is what I hate about our society is we're so obsessed with sex. Part of us is trying to go, oh, we deny it, but it's a natural human function according to some people. Not really. You don't need sex to survive. I mean, it's not like if you stop having sex, you're going to die on the spot. Heaven forbid, you know. The natural needs are, okay, you can go without food for a couple of days if you have to. But food, water, shelter, you don't need shelter to live, but it helps make you live in a situation a bit more comfortable. But sex is not enough. I mean, people say you need to have sex. It's like, no, you don't. And then you top it all off when your kid goes to ask your parents about sex. They go, oh, I want my kid growing up too fast. And I want my kid knowing about sex. So what do? They lie to their kids about it. And the kids go, I know the line. Fuck this. When the parents are home, oh, it's Google. S-E-X, enter. What's this? You porn? What's porn? Oh, that's sex. Okay. Brainwashing bullshit. And you think to yourself, huh? Well, look over in Europe. Now, in Europe, they're more open about their sexuality and their love and all that. And because of that, there's less pregnancies over there. Because here's the thing. Kids get to a certain age, or they start asking questions about sex. Parents, like I said, they don't want to go, I don't want to tell the kids about sex, you know. So you lie to your kid about it. You don't have to lie to your kid about it. You don't just tell them everything. You just feel like, well, baby's come from there, you know. Because I guarantee you, if you lie to your kid, they know you're lying, and just want you to know when they're lying. So, you know, it's just, And then parents go, well, you fucked up and got knocked up. You got some chick knocked up. What's It's like, well, you didn't really inform them about condoms and shit, so, yeah. Well, I don't want my kid having sex if they're too young. It's like, yeah, you don't want your kid having sex if they're too young. They're kids. They'll find a way to do it. Believe me. My parents were like, I don't want you smoking tobacco. It's bad for you. My dad used to chew, so that was kind of ironic. I'm like, oh, really? So, I still kind of want to smoke, though. And I fought my parents on it for years. And if I just said, you know what? You're 20 years old. I don't care. Just, you're going to smoke anyway. Whatever. And because of that, there was less fighting in the house. I didn't do it around the house. I didn't do it in my room. And the one time I did do it in my room, my mom came downstairs. She's like, are you smoking a cigarette in here? I'm like, oh, shit. Yes. If you do that again, I swear to God, you are so grounded. I'm like, okay, I won't do it again. Wow.
So depressing.
And then you end up with a prostitute?
I know.
So depressing. Really? Now, granted, you don't have to have sex to have a happy marriage, or relationship. But it's just, okay, here's the thing. In a couple of videos I've said sex is different for men and women, because women are getting themselves over. Okay, some people go, what? Okay, here's the thing. Guys, you're not thinking, you're thinking, oh, insert your dick here, get your rocks off. Women are receiving that. Okay, you see what I'm saying? They're giving themselves over. And if they never had that before, it could be a new experience for them. Some of them might cry, some of them may like, so it's a really powerful feeling. I don't understand how it works, but the basics of it are there. And for some women, you know, who get used for sex, it makes them, it does more than piss them off, it hurts them because they trusted someone with that connection, that bond. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like Avatar, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? Like when the dude's connecting his hair to the horse and the dragon looking thing and that bond's been made, it's kind of like that. You know, it's just, and for whatever reason, it's psychological, I don't understand it. But the basics of it are there, and so some guys are probably like, well, I don't get it, I told her all I wanted was sex, and she's still pissed off and crying when I told her to get the fuck out. It's because it's just not cool. If all you want is sex, get a fuck doll and be done with it. You don't need the real thing. But it doesn't feel the same. It doesn't. Okay, you're just using women for sex. That's fucked up. Really, just no. Okay, not cool. Not cool at all. But I hate the fact that, oh, you're on honeymoon, you're supposed to be having sex. You know what you could do? If you really want sex, you can go, you could talk her into watching her play with yourself. It's still sex. I mean, you still can see what you could be at, And especially if you're a newlywed couple, you just, holy shit, you're married, you're thinking, wow, I was just in high school, I was just in college, you're thinking life's moving really fast, slow down and take time to enjoy it, you know what I'm saying? So I can understand that, not wanting to have sex on your honeymoon. But at the same time, it's like, okay, you're on your honeymoon. So there's two sides to every coin. There really is. I could use the ice cube example, but I've kind of already used that. The what? Nothing.
On your honeymoon. I mean, I just feel like out of respect for your wife, I mean, don't cheat on your wife, right? I'm not an advocate for that. But just out of respect, at least wait until after the honeymoon to get your rocks off.
Oh, you're saying you're not an advocate of it, so you're saying it would have been better if he would have waited till after the honeymoon? No. She's like, no, I'm not advocating cheating, but at least wait till after the honeymoon to get your rocks off. Oh, that's one more day of deception. Really? Yeah. Not cool. Now I get what she's saying, I'm just being a smart ass. Well, anyway, this is KingCobraJFS in the video. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.